Okay, and you remember that Daniel told you what?
That Robbie told him that him and LaDonna had killed Michelle, and that she was buried on Glass Road under a concrete slab.
Yeah, it smelled really bad.
Really, really bad.
And then one of the neighbors actually told us, he was like, well, you know, in these houses, cats will get under there and die and stuff like that. And
so we just kind of thought maybe it was just a bad animal.
Because every time you'd go in there or in the back bedroom, it's just stunk.
That smell in the house on Glass Road that the homeowners have been describing would be the first crack in a decade of lies. But to understand how a loving mother ends up at the center of a murder investigation, we need to go back. Back to before the lies, before the secrets, before Michelle Miller disappeared. 15 years earlier, Michelle's story begins like countless others in small-town Texas, with young love and big dreams. She was barely 16 when she met Robert Miller, both of them carrying the kind of dreams that seem possible only in youth. By 18, they were married, building what looked like a perfect life from the outside, a home, 2 beautiful children, and Michelle pouring her whole heart into being a mother. No one who watched her homeschool her kids or saw how she lived for her family could have imagined that one day investigators would be searching beneath her house. But before they would reach that point, before the questions and the lies, something changed in the Miller home. Someone new moved in. Her name was LaDonna Yoder, and she changed everything in the Miller household. What started as Robert's suggestion of an open relationship soon evolved into something stranger. All 3 adults wore wedding rings, presenting themselves to the community as a married threesome. They lived together, ate together, and raised the children together. LaDonna wasn't just living in their home, she was becoming deeply embedded in their family life. Then, in December 2005, the delicate balance of this unconventional arrangement shattered. Michelle Miller vanished without a trace.
Him and LaDonna come by where I live on 2414 Houston with LaDonna, and I asked him, I said, well, where's Michelle? And that's when he told me that she left. That's when he told me that she run off with a retired police officer off the base, Goodfellow base. I said, you mean she left her car and her clothes and her phone and everything here? And he said, yeah, she told me she didn't want nothing. And I just said that was very odd.
The kind of mother that Michelle was, she would have never left her kids, ever.
The morning Michelle vanished played out like a twisted fairy tale. Her children simply woke up and their mother was gone. No goodbye, no note, no missing clothes or personal belongings, just emptiness where their mother should have been. What followed was even stranger. While most families would be frantically searching for their missing loved one, Robert and LaDonna seemed to move on with unsettling speed. Within days of Michelle's supposed departure, LaDonna stepped fully into the role of mother, telling everyone that Michelle had abandoned her children for a new life. The same children she'd devoted every day to homeschooling, the ones she'd never spent a day apart from.
What about LaDonna? What can you tell me about her?
I always kind of thought she was a snake in the grass.
How did she act towards the kids? How did she treat the kids then? Did she try to take over and just be their mom? Or?
Yeah. Yep. And convinced them that Michelle never existed.
Basically, she took over Michelle's life.
Yeah, the way they acted really basically like Michelle never existed.
She hadn't been gone very long, just 2 or 3, maybe 4 weeks, something like that. He doesn't have no idea where she went, and I believe that's what he told Michelle's daddy, Steve.
Then sometime later is when Daniel told you.
About 6 months before he died, that's when he told me. I was at my shop out back, and he come out and told me that Robbie got drunk and confessed that he killed Michelle. But they got in a big fight, and he accidentally killed her, and he buried her underneath the concrete slab. That's what my son Daniel told me.
But after Daniel died, we just had so much stuff had happened. And I think once we kind of all got over him dying, and then we kind of started talking, and everybody was like, Daniel told me this and Daniel told me that. And, I kind of think it's like we didn't all realize that Daniel had told all of us that.
The information provided by the Eppersons was deeply disturbing, but investigators faced a challenging reality. At that point, they had no physical evidence of foul play. When they began digging deeper into Michelle's life after she supposedly left in December 2005, what they found was even more troubling. No financial activity, no driver's license renewals, no government program enrollments, no sign of her starting a new life elsewhere, not a single trace of Michelle Miller anywhere in the United States. It was as if she had completely vanished from existence. With Daniel's deathbed confession pointing to murder, investigators focused on the most likely location, the house on Glass Road where the Millers had lived when Michelle disappeared. But by then, Robert and LaDonna had long since moved away, and new owners occupied the property. The new owners, learning of the investigation's gravity, agreed to let officers search the property thoroughly. Given Woody's statement that his son had confessed to burying Michelle under some concrete slabs, investigators were convinced if Michelle had been murdered, her remains might still be hidden beneath this house.
My husband is an engineer, and he was like, there's no reason for that whole thing like that.
The family was talking. They said that they spent 2 years so they could hardly. It smelled so bad in here.
Oh,
I mean,
it smells under there.
she's gotta be.
Yeah. I mean, there's odors down here, but to say that it's...
You know what? Let me see if I can. Despite the strong alerts from the cadaver dogs and the unmistakable odor beneath the house, investigators' search yielded nothing. After removing 15 5-gallon buckets of soil, they hit hard-packed clay. Michelle's body wasn't there. Though investigators were convinced Michelle had once been buried beneath that kitchen floor, they had no way to prove it. With no physical evidence and no body, the case gradually went cold. For the next year, leads dried up, and Michelle's true fate seemed destined to remain buried in the past. Then came the break they needed. In 2018, Robert Miller was arrested on an unrelated theft charge. For investigators, this presented a perfect opportunity. They carefully orchestrated their next move, bringing LaDonna in for questioning while letting her believe Robert had been arrested for something far more serious. It was a delicate deception. When officers contacted LaDonna, they made sure their tone and demeanor suggested this was about more than just a simple theft. The strategy was clear: make her believe Robert's arrest was connected to Michelle's disappearance without ever directly saying so.
Robert and I actually had met back when I was in junior high, and he and his adopted parents had lived here. They had a little game shop right here where the theater is right now.
Right.
And we met there. He was a good friend of my brother's for the longest, and then they wound up moving off. Well, then, let's see, I was in Stephenville, and he had talked to someone online and was asking about my brother and me and everybody else, trying to get in touch with everybody, and we wound up getting together then.
So online, you got together online?
Mm-hmm.
And when y'all got together, was he still married at the time?
Yeah. They were in the process of separating or stuff like that.
Who's they?
Michelle? Yeah, Michelle.
Where is she at these days?
From what I understand, she is up in Wisconsin, so she's from, her family's from? I don't know.
So how well did you know Michelle?
I knew her pretty good, I guess, for just as individual for her leaving. Like she was leaving, or they were off and on kind of thing. Honestly, at one particular time, the three of us had actually were together. So, you know, it was kind of that deal. And then it got to the point to where she was just ready to go.
Where we all living?
Out there at the class court row.
So just one day she up and leaves?
I know that like they had gotten into an argument, and I wound up staying in the living room with Keegan because it had gotten pretty bad, and I'd fallen asleep and everything, and when I woke up, she was gone.
So they have a big argument, big fight. You go to sleep. When you wake up, you never see her again. She doesn't move her stuff out. She doesn't contact the kids. It's just, and she's gone.
Yeah.
Do you know what Robert's under arrest for?
What was he arrested for?
Well, I just want to talk to you a little bit more today. You're free to go at any time.
Okay.
Okay. Naomi Michelle Miller. All right. She's not on this planet.
What?
Did Robert ever tell you he did anything to her?
No.
You don't think it's odd that a mom would up and leave her kids and there's no contact ever, period?
I kind of thought it was, but he said he had talked to her, and the kids are just, they're all like, well, you're my mom, I don't like her, she was mean, so they kind of just all like,
Problems really, LaDonna, they don't work they don't really go away that easily. Anybody that's been through a divorce or marriage knows there's
Well, I know, because me and my
separation
ex-husband
process.
don't even hardly,
Yeah. Tell us about the hole in the kitchen floor.
hole in the kitchen. There was a hole in the kitchen floor. On the glass road?
Yes.
Oh, God, I don't know, because I know, like, it had the bar, and it had the stove, like a glass top stove.
Yeah.
And then, I don't even recall a hole in the bar, in the floor. I don't recall a hole in the floor.
We're not mad at you for that, but I'll tell you this. Robert has made some comments about taking her life with people we've interviewed. And I cannot imagine that you and he have not had that conversation.
Oh, we've had, he's never told me he would take her life, but we've had, like, he has said that he would do whatever he had to do to take care of his kids, protect his kids.
Right. And that would include killing Naomi.
He's never used the word killing. He's always he would protect his kids.
There's some evidence there at the house that I would find hard to believe that you wouldn't be aware of. LaDonna, we're not trying to get you in on this, but I feel like you have information. And the thing is from today, March 1st, 2017, your life may never be the same. At 8:15 in the morning. We, as investigators, believe that Miss Miller is dead. I also believe you have knowledge of it. I also believe you could be culpable if you're not straight up with us today.
Culpable wasn't part of it?
Yes. What happened to her? We want to
I don't know. I don't know. Is that she left?
No, it's not true. But Donna, it's okay. You've been carrying this a long time.
Yes.
Okay. What happened?
The investigators' strategy worked better than they could have hoped. Under intense questioning, LaDonna finally began to crack. After years of silence, she described a chilling scene from that December night. Robert dragging something wrapped in a blanket out of their house. Though she wouldn't explicitly confirm it was Michelle's body, her body language and emotional response told investigators everything they needed to know.
I want you to demonstrate for me how he was dragging the body.
Kind of like a little bit bundle right here. And it's just pulling like come around the deal and just like kind of come like this. And
Okay. And it was wrapped in what?
in a blanket. Colored blanket.
Off the bed.
While LaDonna carefully distanced herself from direct involvement, her revelation was the breakthrough investigators had been waiting for. They now had an eyewitness who had seen Robert Miller disposing of what appeared to be his wife's body. Combined with the evidence from the house on Glass Road, investigators felt they finally had enough to confront Robert, who at this point was still in custody on a separate theft charge.
Well, Naomi's not on this planet anymore.
I don't understand.
Well, I'm telling you.
Okay.
All right.
I don't hear you.
All right. And she hasn't been on this planet since she was with you. There's no record of her anywhere. There's no traffic stop. There's no...
She hardly ever got stopped, but still, I understand that.
Yeah. There's no phone, cell phone. There's no Facebook. There's no
Facebook.
No.
There had to be up until like, the last time I even talked to him was like, shit, I don't remember.
Are you telling us you talked to Michelle on Facebook?
No, I was trying to think.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am trying to remember when last I talked to her. Man, I'll help y'all any way I can.
Take us to her body.
I don't know where it is.
Yeah, you do.
No, I don't, sir. I don't know where her body is. I swear to God, I never hurt that woman. Man, I never hurt that woman.
Yes, sir.
No, sir, I did not. Anybody that ever knew us would tell you I never hurt that woman, never would have hurt her. I love that woman to death.
To death. Correct.
Yeah, well, I know, I knew you was gonna say that's why I said it again. But sir, I've never ever hurt her. All the years she pulled knives on me, anything, I never hurt her. I just kept giving her stuff.
I don't know if what happened was intentional. I know there's a fight. I know she disappeared.
I don't
know.
get that irate. I don't get that mad. I get mad if somebody's yelling at me, yes, and I'll yell back and scream at them. I have never ever hurt any woman I've ever been with.
Explain the hole in the floor.
There was never a hole in the floor. That's what I don't understand. Not at that time. There was brand new flooring on the floor. There was never a hole there.
Well, how did you get plumbing in there then?
This is when we first bought the house.
Oh, okay, well, plumbing. There's a hole later. We have pictures of the hole in the floor. I mean, we're not making that up.
That's why I'm asking. So there was not a hole in the floor at that time.
The hole was directly over the grave. That's another incredible coincidence.
There was not a hole in that floor when I moved out of that house.
Well, there was when we found it, and there was right above the graveside, or what we believe to be the graveside.
Okay.
Okay. So that's another incredible. All right. The fight the night that Michelle went missing. Okay. LaDonna knows about that. You know about that. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess it's coincidence that y'all both knew about the same fight. In fact, it's two coincidences because you both knew about it.
Okay, because we lived in the same house together, we'd know about it.
That's right, because it's true. It's
Yes,
not
sir.
just coincidence. Okay. There's no record of her on the planet. That happens when you die. Okay. There's no record of her. That's not a happenstance. That's because she's not around. Okay. But we're just going to say, for the sake of argument, that she ran off with the boy and she's never been stopped or got a Facebook or got a phone. I don't know how many. I'm just going to count it as one. But really, it's
the
more
list
than
of
one.
things that I've checked.
Yes.
I
I can't see it, sir.
Well, I'm just saying that's a list of everything that's been checked. She
Well,
doesn't take
12
any property. She doesn't take a car.
She
She
took
leaves
some
her phone.
property, not much. Yes, she took a few little things.
The only thing she took was her life.
No,
So
she took
there's
some
all
things.
these incredible coincidences. Come on, man.
I don't know what to tell you because I didn't kill her. I've never hurt that woman.
Despite police turning up the heat and laying out the mounting evidence against him, Robert remained defiant. Hour after hour, he stuck to his story, that he had no idea where Michelle was. But investigators had one more card to play. They knew Robert's confident facade might crack when confronted with the person who had already betrayed his trust.
Backs up your story all the way up to it.
I know, that's what don't make any sense. What?
This is the lady I believe.
Honey, why would you say I carried a body out, baby? What are you talking
Carry
about?
something out in a blanket, the blanket that she always wore on.
I didn't even carry Michelle in a body. Let me, another thing. I cut a hole in the kitchen floor and put her body in there.
No.
I did not say that. No, I did not say that.
Well, they're saying that I
Which
cut a
was to the
hole in the
worst?
kitchen floor and put. I'm asking a question. They're saying I cut a hole in the kitchen floor.
She saw
Put the body in there.
She saw you carry the
You know,
body
you
out.
went out the
I
back
never
door.
carried a body out. No, I could not go out the back door, honey. The back door was silicone shut and screwed shut.
No, just the window.
No, baby, the door was too. Think about it for a minute. Calm down, baby. The back door. Remember, because I found that big old centipede in there. I couldn't even go out the back door to get rid of it. That back door, because Michelle was completely.
That back door was not sealed, Robert.
Yes.
That back door did not get sealed
Ask
until
the people that are
afterwards.
living there now if that back door is not sealed completely shut.
Within
Whenever
the
they
back
did.
door, there's no.
It was. I'm asking you when they moved in. Honey, it was.
It might
And I
have
carried
still
some of
been
her stuff and this and that outside and get ready to throw away that waterbed. I never carried her outside, baby.
You carried something out through the kitchen, into the laundry room, and out the back door.
Baby, the back
The
door.
one blanket
Think
that
about
she
it.
always used on the bed, Robbie.
LaDonna, think about it very carefully.
I am thinking about it. I see
Calm
that
down.
every time. I see that in my
Honey, really? Baby, I've never even been underneath that house, honey.
I never said you were underneath that house.
Well, that's what they're telling
No,
me.
I said there was fresh dirt by the back door, underneath that window. I never
Calm
said
down.
anything about you being underneath that
Baby.
house. I never even seen a damn hole in that floor.
Okay, calm
until
down.
they showed me a picture, and then they could only be putting it in after we left.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And
Yeah,
did you
that's
ever
what I'm
see-
saying.
Did you ever see Michelle?
Calm
after
down,
that?
baby.
No.
LaDonna,
Okay.
calm down.
All right.
Please, honey.
I want to have her step outside for a minute.
Well, can you please calm down a little and talk to me again?
I asked her what it looked like she was carrying out, and she said something.
Looks like, though.
and she says it looked like a body. It was the same size, same shape.
Same shape. Looks like. That's what I'm saying. Then she said the whole kitchen floor wasn't there when we, she said that was there after. I mean, that doesn't even add up.
It adds up to me.
Well,
It adds up to this dude who's been a policeman since 1989. You know what it adds up to?
What?
It adds up to your ass supposed to get arrested for murder.
well, I guess what it is then, because I didn't do it.
I believe you did.
Well, I'm sorry, sir, but I don't know what to tell you. I would help you if I can.
I sit here and watch you twist our words. You are
No.
a manipulator.
Did y'all not say that you thought I did it?
No, you said that we in the play that you beat her all the time.
Yeah, because you said in that statement.
No, that's what she said.
No,
Okay,
yeah,
right
but you
here.
think that I do that.
I
because
read the
what she
statement.
read. What I'm saying is you think that I do because she said that.
I know
Do you
you're
not?
right.
Do you not,
You
sir?
are a master manipulator.
Do you not think
you
that?
have manipulated her for years.
Oh, I have not.
And not only you're a master manipulator, you are another word that begins with a M.
What?
Murderer.
Bringing LaDonna into the interrogation room had clearly rattled Robert, but he was still playing his game of cat and mouse with investigators. Even after they removed LaDonna from the room, he remained convinced he could outsmart them, that his lies would hold up just as they had for the past 12 years. But investigators had one more strategy: appeal to whatever humanity might be left in Robert Miller. They showed him a photograph of Michelle in a floral dress, hoping to trigger some emotional response, some crack in his carefully maintained facade.
Huh?
What would you tell her?
Shit, that I still love her. I love the shit out of that woman. I love her to death, man. I did. I loved her forever.
Does that dress kind of look like that comforter she was wrapped up in?
It kind of does, huh? I think Amber has that dress now, though. Yeah. It is kind of like that, but like the white there is more of a peach color of that comforter.
Mm-hmm.
I hated that comforter because we had it forever.
You think she deserved how she ended up?
I don't know how she ended up. If she is dead, no. I did not kill her, man. I love that woman to death. I would have stayed with her even longer if she would have just, stayed.
You wrapped her up in a comforter that looked a lot like that.
It is a comforter. The one that we had?
Yeah. That's the one you wrapped her up in.
No.
That's the one that
I
saw you.
can damn near swear that comforter, we still had that thing for years. We threw it away finally. I swear we still had that thing.
Despite catching Robert in this crucial slip-up, investigators knew he wasn't going to confess. They needed to make their next move carefully. Their decision was strategic: charge Robert with murder now. This would keep him in custody, preventing him from potentially influencing or threatening LaDonna while they worked to uncover the full truth. With Robert behind bars, investigators turned their focus back to LaDonna. They brought her to the house on Glass Road where Michelle had last been seen alive. This time they were done dancing around the truth. Their questions became more direct, more pointed. Standing at the scene of the crime, surrounded by memories of that December night, LaDonna finally broke. After 12 years of secrets, the truth came pouring out.
So did he ever tell you that he buried her out here?
God, I can't do this no more. He did. He killed her. No, he killed her.
Did he tell you he killed her? LaDonna, look. Just because you
yes,
haven't...
Yes, he did.
When did he tell you that he killed her?
About 3 days afterwards.
About 3 days afterwards? Did he tell you how he did it?
He said he got in a fight.
It's okay.
I'll talk to you later.
It's okay. He held her down and put a pillow over her face.
Because I kept hounding him about why she wasn't coming back and what was going on.
Okay.
And that's when he says, he's gonna lay it out. He gotta tell you. I said, what? And then when he told me that, and I'm sitting here thinking, oh my God, if I say something, if I leave, what is he gonna do? He's gonna find me, he's gonna take me, he's gonna kill my kids, and what is he gonna do? And it's just from that on, he just kind of got more controlling.
LaDonna went on to explain that Robert had buried Michelle at a racetrack he managed back in 2005. She told them that Robert had moved the body there shortly after Michelle had died. Upon seeing the vast area of the racetrack, investigators knew that it could take weeks to find the body. With time working against them, investigators made one final attempt with Robert. They returned to his cell, this time armed with LaDonna's full confession. After hours of interrogation, Robert finally broke. He agreed to lead investigators to Michelle's body.
Hey, watch out.
Not only did Robert lead police to Michelle's body, but he had one final twist to reveal. After 12 years of denying any knowledge of Michelle's death, he suddenly had a very different story to tell. According to Robert, it was LaDonna who had killed Michelle, claiming she had smothered her with a pillow during an argument because she was jealous of her. This new version of events forced investigators to question everything they thought they knew. Had LaDonna played a more sinister role than what she'd portrayed in her tearful confession? Police wondered if she could have been the mastermind behind Michelle's murder all along.
Now, here's another thing. You know, the body was duct taped. You aware of that?
No, I was not aware of that.
The body was duct taped prior to decomposition.
I mean, if I would have known about the duct tape, I would have said something.
Well, okay, the indications we are, you know, like I said, we have to match up your statement from the
I understand.
The indications are that she was alive when she was duct taped. Now, are your fingerprints going to be on that duct tape?
Better not be, no. No. You can run it.
All right.
Shouldn't be at all.
What about your DNA?
No.
Okay. And you didn't help him duct tape.
Nope.
Well, do you think it would be hard for one person to duct tape a living person? I think it would be hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure.
It's just not going to happen. Because you have to do the duct tape. Somebody has to hold the limbs.
But do you know how crazy he is that he wouldn't duct tape her after she's dead or something?
Well, maybe that's a possibility. But she was duct taped somewhere other than her wrist or her
Where was she
ankle.
duct taped at?
We got a picture.
Oh, God.
She was duct taped over her mouth and her face and her head.
Why?
Because she was alive when she did
No.
it. Because you helped him duct tape.
No, I did not.
Goddamn sure did.
I sure the hell didn't.
You sure did.
No, I didn't.
In fact, you're involved in it as deep as he is, and you know it.
No.
Yes,
I'm not.
ma'am, you are.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, it's hard to look at, isn't it?
I didn't do that.
Yes, you did.
No,
you
I
had a
didn't.
very, very, very important role in it.
No.
Because I guarantee you, why would you?
My role in it was when he tried to get me to do it and I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it.
You wouldn't
I
do it.
couldn't do it.
Am I supposed to believe you wouldn't do it, but you wouldn't say anything for 12 years? Because I don't think a jury's going to believe that. I'll tell you what you better believe.
That I'm going to jail, I know.
Well, why would you go to jail?
Because y'all all think I've done that.
Who's in jail right now?
Robbie.
What I think is you've got a role in it. You better get straight with it 100%.
I didn't kill her. He wanted me to, but I couldn't kill her. I couldn't do it. He told me all you had to do is put the damn pillow over her face and I'll hold it down. And when she turned her head, and I looked at him, I said, I can't do this shit. You're crazy. And he goes, oh, fuck it. He says, give me the pillow. And he just smashes it.
So you were in the fucking room.
Yes.
With LaDonna finally admitting she was in the room when Michelle was killed, investigators had no doubt. She was just as culpable as Robert in Michelle's murder. Police arrested LaDonna and charged her with murder. With their lies exposed and nowhere left to turn, both Robert and LaDonna faced the inevitable. Robert Miller pled guilty and was sentenced to 38 years in prison. LaDonna Yoder followed suit, receiving 35 years for her role in the murder. After 12 years of deception, after all the false stories about Michelle abandoning her children, after making those same children call their mother's killer mom, the truth had finally come to light. Michelle Miller hadn't abandoned her family. She had been murdered by the very people she once trusted and built a life around.